This is the Museum of Sex in New York City, which opened in 2002. They currently have an exhibit called Rubbers, so I decided to check it out. This is Sarah Forbes, the museum's curator.
I very much wanted to make an exhibition on safer sex and on condom usage. I think for myself, I don't know a world in my lifetime that doesn't have HIV/AIDS a part of it. And growing up here in New York and seeing as things evolved, and I remember a friend of mine, being 10 years old, who lost both of his parents due to HIV/AIDS. I mean, it's something that my generation, I think, has grown up with so tremendously, and it startles me and it scares me that we still have to be having this conversation today about safer sex.
The exhibit covers the history of condoms, from early ones made from animal intestines, to how they were packaged and sold back in the day, to how they're made at condom factories.
Some of the early rubber condoms were so thick, they're almost as thick as, let's say, a bicycle tire, with a seam along them. So they weren't necessarily also the most comfortable.
Rubbers also delves into the condom as an effective way to stop the spread of the diseases throughout history, starting with syphilis in the 1400s.
The need for condoms was a very real issue because syphilis was transforming society. People were dying from it, they were being disfigured, they were passing it along to their partners and along to their children, and there was no cure. Very much in the way that HIV/AIDS has affected our society now.
The exhibit also includes lots of condom-themed art, featuring original pieces by Keith Haring and other respected artists. It's a lot of fun, but at the end of the day, condoms bring up a morality issue. Some people think that STDs, or STIs as they're now called, are due punishment for sexual promiscuity, God or nature's way of delivering justice to sinners and fornicators. It's fun to talk about condoms as rubbers, but how does the museum feel about the message it's sending in terms of social responsibility?
If we're doing an exhibition about condoms, we have to talk about the controversial components of it as well. The religious components, the political components. We even have a conversation about condoms in the porn industry, because right now it's not required that the performers use condoms in their scenes. It's an optional only. Well, for us, pornography, we don't take a pro stance, a negative stance, but these are social artifacts, and that's how we present them. So we do have a film gallery that's called Action, Sex and the Moving Image.
Bestiality or group sex, or it gets way out there, and those could be social artifacts too.
Well, we show all of pornography except when it involves non-consenting partners.
What about people that are kind of like messed up in the head? You know what I mean? Like they had a bad upbringing, so they're consenting to be in it, but you know that they're not like really all there. Like there's a lot of drugs involved and that kind of stuff.
I guess it's not. It's very difficult for one person to be judging that somebody's, mental competency isn't correct. But we are assuming that anything that's being sold with, model releases and rights, that's all been verified by their legal channels, is something that we can show here. I think that this exhibition, Rubbers, Life, History, and Struggle of the Condom, is an exhibition that is educational, that is entertaining, it's fun, it's whimsical, and it really shows that safer sex should and has to be a part of our lives, and that we're really encouraging that continued conversation.
You don't have to giggle every time you hear the word condom.
You don't have to giggle, but it's okay if you do.
To learn more about the Rubbers exhibit and the Museum of Sex, visit museumofsex.com.